mean, one thing we're always looking to do is to make the game more realistic and to move it forward. Most of the tyre connection stuff, I mean, it's not stuff that you can simulate if that's not coming back through the game world. So I think we've really spent a lot of time this year on making sure that the tyre's got a better connection with the game world. So not only do you feel all of that through the gamepad, but it's much easier to overheat your tyres and to extract life from them this year. So you might find that you think that you've got more pace in the car, but the game really rewards kind of gentle and smooth inputs this year as opposed to high sort of Alonso seesaw, get the car in there.
The four AI ability levels in the game, sort of that's where sort of do that each one suits them best.
Yeah.
Have you adjusted difficulty so players can find their level better, or have you added more, maybe more levels?
Yeah, we were looking at sort of AI sliders and things, but we didn't find that was any better in terms of letting people know whereabouts on that slider they should sit. So there's obviously always a big push to try and make the top end better. The AI cars are much faster this year. In previous years they've raced with some driving assists on as well. That was the way that we had to work to get them to drive at a fast pace. But this year all of that's been removed. They're driving much more human-like, and the one benefit of that straight away is their tyres are no longer sort of been serving for longer. They wear out at the same level as the player. I think once you've got that top level right, you can then work your way backwards. But I think in previous games we perhaps had, after rookie, intermediates even too much of a step up for some people. So it's quite a difficult balance, but we've got a load of resets, a load of focus test information this year. So yeah, enable us to balance it.
Staying on the AI in wet, they changed things to like the times, because the AI times are quite high, quite sort of low in wet.
Yeah.
Is that more realistic now?
Yeah, I mean that ties into the same issue really, because they're driving with traction control various levels on, you're just not going to be able to catch them, and like all of a sudden they're just getting more grip out of the corner. So the same sort of fix as Fuel Wave.
In terms of rules of practice or full qualifying, appear online play outside court?
Qualifying in the multiplayer, there's various different level qualifying modes. I mean, we've looked into online practice, so I know there's a big call for it. There's quite a lot of work involved in getting it out and functioning right, so it's something that we might look at for future franchises, but yeah, qualifying is there. Well, there are a number of options for qualifying this time around, so we've got a new qualifying mode, which if you haven't got time for the full 15-minute session, but you do still want qualifying to determine grip position, we've got something called one-shot qualifying, where you can just kind of all do one lap at the same time, and then your lap time will determine your grip position.
Okay. Will there be a further increase to like the human drivers, maybe up to 24?
Yeah, I know that's a big on people's wish list, and it is for us as well. But the trouble is, it's much easier to go from 8 to 16 than it is to even go from 16 to 20. Just because when you find issues and it needs 24 people to recreate, I mean, it just takes so long to balance and see through. And just the way that we do all the stuff behind the scenes as well, in terms of making sure that the experience is good in terms of lag and stuff. All of that needs a thorough overhaul completely, which makes it difficult to do when you're doing an annual series. So it's still 16 human players in 2002.
You've got the young driver test included in 2012. Will that seamlessly integrate into the career mode?
Yeah, that's the idea. So the young driver test is really there just to make sure that everyone's got a base knowledge of what they need for the game. There's also a secondary level for those who aren't really too up to speed with Formula 1 as a sport, the complexities of the rules, to go back and experience some of that. But yeah, the better you do in the young driver test, it opens to some more contract offers and stuff.
And the career mode more focused on the whole digital life aspect of the time. I mean, you focused on that slightly in 2010, but not as much as 11. Back in 2012?
Yeah, I mean, in 2012 we've kind of taken a slightly different approach. We really wanted to overhaul the game from the ground up and just make it cleaner and crisper and faster to get into game modes. That was the process of the previous game. So the actual interview section of Live the Life is gone now, and it's much more about the race experience. But we really enjoyed and thought there was a lot of mileage in the press clippings in terms of the media, how you were viewed in the game world. So that's still there in the career mode, and it makes it probably a better partnership.
And watching F1 round, it's been kind of unpredictable this start of the season. The Pirelli tyres and stuff, is that going to be sort of replicated in 2012?
Yeah, that's quite tricky for us, although we've always had the tools to be able to sort of position things around. So when we fine-tune AI, for instance, obviously their car determines their speed in addition to their driving ability. So what that kind of meant last year is, the Mercedes was the fourth best car, so therefore it didn't really matter that perhaps Rosberg was half a second or 7/10 faster than Schumacher, because they would normally be 7th and 8th on the grid anyway. Whereas this year the car tiers are just kind of really being compressed down. So what you're seeing in real life is, Alonso's really showing his quality. You're seeing the same as well in other areas around up and down the grid. So we're able to replicate that in the game.
So moving away from 2012, you've been at E3 for a while, I presume. Have you seen anything outside? Anything sort of catch your fancy outside F1?
We've had a quick nose at some of the other racing games. We're obviously massive racing fans, Forza Horizon, Need for Speed. I mean, there's some great stuff, and I think you can draw inspiration from other games as well.
Okay, cool. Thanks.